just in case you thought you were going to forget it, because let's face it, it's not that catchy, is it? This is the Honda ENY1. We've seen the Honda E around for 3 years. A small vehicle with a small range. So this now is Honda's new electric vehicle, and it's their take on a small SUV, starting price around about 45k, depending which model and which extras and all of those things, and a decent range of 256 miles. So part of the noise reduction exercise here in this design is the positioning of the wheels. Most electric vehicles are coming with some chunky old wheels and alloys as standard and all of those things. But here you'll notice that the wheels, unlike most, are not sticking out. They don't leave the kind of main body of the car. They're tucked right under. That positioning is deliberate by Honda, and it's part of a design aim to reduce the wind flow and therefore reduce the noise from the wheels. One design feature that's also really cool about this car is they've thought through, you know how we are about the automatic shutting tailgate, right? Some of the technology we love, some of it we do not love. This is a winner. If you are smaller than average, or frankly whatever size you are, you can set this to suit your size. So instead of having to reach up really high and get covered in rain or whatever while you're doing so, you can do this. If this is the height that suits you for the tailgate to open, you just press and hold until you hear a beep. The next time it opens, trust me on this, hopefully.
You've got a good track record.
Right. The next time it opens, ta-da! It's at the height you set it to. Isn't that really helpful? The boot's also really nice because it's got one of these cloth parcel shelves, which I find really useful, and under here, loads more space. So the boot is 361 litres, which actually for a car that claims to be a small SUV is quite small, and there's no front fruit, whatever it's called. But come with me into the car and you'll see that this is simple is where they've gone with the design, because all of the, well, most, let's face it, of the knobs and buttons and all of those things have disappeared to be replaced by, where's the power button? There it is, behind the steering wheel. To be replaced by this one huge 15.1 inch screen. This is it. I mean, there's a little display here, but this is everything else. So your heating is permanently displayed here. They split it up. So it's not like a screen where you're opting for different things to see on it. This is split up. And so you've got your audio, your heating, perhaps your sat nav up here, but everything is there. Some people love that, some people don't. I like it. For me, it's like I don't have to think too hard about it, especially, you know, when you're driving lots of different cars all the time. There's no wheel to change gear. It's simply button pressing. Your drive modes are down here. And your parking brake is also down here, as well as that P for park. But, you know, it's a really slick, nice layout. I love this feature. There's a button on the end of this stick here, and if you press it, it just switches on the camera display. So you can see anything you want to see that's happening around your car, whether it's a magpie who has actually been hanging out thinking that we might be having lunch and dropping some for him, or how exactly to see how wonkily I've parked in this space. Would you like to have a look at that? It was deliberate for filming purposes and get the nice light on it. With this model, it will find and park for you. It will find a viable parking space and park for you. That already makes me very nervous. Well, we've just driven past about 5. Oh yeah, no, there's one. Oh, I see, it's like a computer game. It's going, there's one, boop, 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 boop. There's one. Well, okay, right. Okay, so now you've found one. Now what are you going to do? Stop the car and select from the highlighted spaces. Apply the brake and press the switch. Reduce force. It's doing it automatically. I'm not doing anything. This is a new experience entirely for me. A car parking itself. And it is a bit scary, you know? Like, gosh. Please don't crash into that person's car. Please don't crash into that person's car. Please don't crash into that person's car. Parking operation is complete.
Look, try to find the line. Try to find the line.
Oh, that is hilarious. I am the best at parking. Between me and that. No brainer. So one thing that's really important to talk about with this car in particular is, and especially I'll show you as we move away from these traffic lights, is Honda have been working really hard on this idea, and here we go. As I accelerate, it's not got actually that splurge of power and torque that most EVs have as I accelerate away from the traffic lights, because Honda have been working specifically on this idea that people are saying there's an increased likelihood of travel sickness in electric vehicles, partly because of that, you know, that power, that surge of power that takes you by surprise a little bit, because they're so quick at coming away from lights or you know, accelerating away. And so they have deliberately lessened that ability so that the acceleration away from a start is slower. I have yet to feel sick in an EV. I have been travel sick before, and I know it's horrible, but I've not had that in an EV. But apparently people are getting increasingly travel sick in EVs and suffering from that, and this is Honda's way of trying to alleviate that, and I'd love to know if it works. So if anyone's got any experience of that, please do leave a comment. It can charge at a rate of 78, and it's a 68.8 kilowatt battery. And that is really the only issue with it, in terms of it's got a good range, all of those things, but how future-proof it is in terms of battery and charging, yet to be decided. Honda have these paddles on the steering wheel, which you can change the degree of regenerative braking with. And what's interesting is that you can change it so that you can make it, you know, you can increase your regenerative braking. However, it doesn't stay where you set it. It reverts back to its, you know, manufacturer's setting mode, its auto mode. So as this rainy day comes to a close and we return our car to Hendy, I love it. It's a little SUV. It's got some quirky features, some of which could be improved. But it's a great car for a small family. And here's the other huge bonus. Because Honda wanted to be so competitive on value, there's 5 years on servicing, guarantee, and roadside assistance that comes with this car. So that is really worth thinking about when you're making a decision.